Hello, hello. I am here. Camera is still not working. Okay. Um, well, this is gonna be a weird show first, but we'll get this going here in just a moment. Um, hope you guys are having a good week so far. This is Lewis Bright Raven from Quoth Lewis Bright Raven, 33-year veteran of science fiction, fantasy, horror, role playing games. This is Manga Talk. Um, as soon as we get this straightened out here. We should have this working, but I don't want to have to. Hopefully, I won't have to exit. Um, okay. Um, our topic for the show will be Kaiju number 8, or not issues, but volumes number 10 and 11. And why is this thing doing this? It keeps telling me I didn't do something right. Hold on a minute. Let's see if one more. I'm gonna try one more time. Get the camera to work, guys. There we go. We got that at least. All right. Just a second. I think the camera's working. There we go. Hello, everyone. Oh, it's been a rough day. I apologize for the lateness. Anyway, hope you're having a better week than I am so far. Uh, books we're going to be reviewing are Kaiju number 10 and 11. And let's get to it. Kaiju number 8, volumes 10 and 11, $11.99 each. They went up in price from the $9.99 they had been. Publisher Shonen Jump Viz Media, Peter Naoa Matsumoto, with a US translation by David Evelyn, art touch-up and lettering by Brandon Bovia. Designer, Jimmy Pressler, and edited by Carla Clark. Genre was Kaiju Super Battle Science Fiction, and these issues were released respectively on June 4th and October 1st, 2024. What it's about. The blatantly obvious plan of what Kaiju number 9, the villain, his plan is to defeat the Japanese anti-Kaiju defense force begins to unfold as new Kaijus that are basically duplicate opposites of the team members, in part based on the knowledge that Kaiju number 9 absorbed when he defeated and absorbed General Isao Shinomiya's memories and body in the last volume, volume 9. So he basically knows everything about them. So he's building Kaiju counterparts to them. With Kaiju cataclysms transpiring all across Japan, Oshina, the vice captain of the team, heads into battle equipped with weapon number 10 as a new weapon suit, and soon discovers that wielding the first ever sentient Kaiju weapon isn't going to be as easy as you think. Meanwhile, back in the Ozumi area where Kafka, also known as Kaiju number 8, is. 6 supergiant class kaiju emerge, worsening an already grave situation. But just as things get dire, some unexpected backup arrives. Even so, this second wave of the battle, when multiple new kaijus appear, number 11 through 15, are targeting all the people that are wearing weapons, number weapon suits, have been tailor-made to fight their specific person, starting with Kokoro, who is the person you see on the cover here. In Volume 11, the real battle begins. The 5 identified class kaiju created by number 9 gather in the Eastern Division's area, specifically designed to eliminate the Defense Force's main players like Kokoro and Kafka and Yoshida. These kaiju have forced every division into a struggle. Meanwhile, Kafka makes a promise to Kokoro before the battle. What exactly that promise is, you have to wait and see. And speaking of kaiju, I've got a kaiju. You guys can't see him. He's just off camera. There he is. Wanting his attention. Midnight Monster. Anyway, as I said, in terms of the overall story series, this was the inevitable, obvious direction that the story had to go in. Pardon me. The good news is that in many ways, the story is now focusing on the side characters, the rest of the team, rather than on Kafka. And they needed to be focused on a little bit more than they had been. What you see here now is the back cover to volume number 10, and that is the kaiju version of Kokoro, the opposite that the number 9 designed. Now, while I thought that the Kaiju 1115 were somewhat interesting in their design and execution, the fact that this was exactly what I expected the Kaiju number 9 to do was make duplicates of each of the key team members using Kokuro's father's memories that were absorbed in him when number 9 killed him. It kind of lessened the impact for me. I don't know. Since I'm reading all the issues like 2 at a time for the last few weeks, it's kind of fresh in my head. Since a lot of these books come out every 6 months, maybe if you're reading it the way they came out, you wouldn't be thinking about it as much. It would be more of a surprise. But it lessened the impact for me anyway. Not that the story became boring, nor was it poorly executed for what it is, but it's always slightly less fun of a read when you pretty much know what's going to happen before you read it. Or like in a movie, you watch a movie and you know what's going to happen. You haven't watched the movie before, but you can figure out the plot or you can figure out what's going to happen. It has a little bit of a lesser feel to it for the experience. That's what's going on for me. Now, I think that's a big reason why Matsumoto had to shift the focus over to the rest of the team and try to make the characters that he hadn't been really writing about matter more in ways that he hadn't done in earlier volumes, while putting Kafka on the back burner, so to speak. Because if they still stuck with Kafka and his story more so than trying to get you to care about the other ones, I don't know if this situation would really matter as much to the reader. But the stakes ultimately mean that some of these Japanese anti-Kaiju Defense Force or jacked up members, are going to have to lose so that Kafka can rise. At least that's what I should think. Probably Vice Captain Hoshina and number 10 will probably get killed at some point. Maybe some of the others. I don't think Kokoro is going to kick the bucket yet. I think it's more like that Kaiju number 9, the main villain's going to target Mina, the can't remember what her position is, but she's now like the leader of the whole group. And the reason Kafka is even wanting to be in the group because they were friends and he has a crush on her and all that stuff. But I figure it's going to be targeting her to kill her, and Kafka has to like save her or protect her or whatever, and set up the final battle between Kafka number 8 and Kaiju number 9. We'll finish the series with volumes 12 to 14 next week to see where it ends up. I thought 14 was the final issue. There's actually going to be a 15th volume in, I think it's March 2026. So we'll have to come back to it, but it is what it is. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5. I really can't give it a higher score because it was just too close and predictable to what I was expecting. And it didn't really give me any twists or turns that really wowed me, but it didn't have anything really bad going on either. So, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the artwork. And I'm sorry if I don't look like I'm far away. I've got the kitty in my lap. It's just, anyway. This is Hoshina and Kaiju number 10 in their new battle suit together. And you can see that Hoshina has the Kaiju kind of old. It's not really. It's like it's supposed to be like a ghost-like entity over him, but he's actually just like living as the armor, so to speak, that Hoshina was wearing. They just keep going at it, constant different battles, and the longer he goes, the more the number 9 can basically read the weapons techniques and strategies that the two figure out. So it makes it harder and harder for them to get their job done because they just, it's like adapting to someone else's fighting, so you know how to adapt and deal with it. And then there's kaijus that are this much bigger than what they're used to fighting. Usually they stand about as tall as the buildings, and not that much taller than the building. Oh, big explosions. They're trying to protect Mina, of course. Their head overall head injured. And she's firing her weapons gun from such a long range distance and nailing them because she's that good of a shot to begin with. But it's quite crazy. But anyway, then it becomes Kakiro versus her doppelganger. And they kind of, put them more side by side, about the same size, so that you go after them and stuff. So they're about the same physical size, kind of helping the giant-sized kaiju as well. So that's It has started on in volume number 10. And here's volume 11, which is kind of a really cool thing. You kind of look at this and you think about the size of the gun this guy's trying to pull out there. This is like a pulse rifle. It's like, Jesus, it's bigger than you are. Meanwhile, Kuro's still fighting her doppelganger. It just keeps getting worse as the fight goes on. Kushida and number 10 are more or less getting completely drained out. And there's one last thing that Hashima can do that he hasn't used as a combat style. He's been saving it. And that's what he tries at the end of the book, to try and end the battle. And that's where I leave it up at the cliffhanger. So, anyway, that means for next week, we'll do 3 issues instead of 2. And that'll be number 12 through 14. And we'll await the final volume in March of 2026. So, again, apologize for being late and having the technical issues that we had this week. Hopefully that won't happen tonight, but we'll be back tonight for our crowdfunding and industry talk. Should be hopefully me and Chris Hall, maybe some other guests. The topic will be the recent cancellation of the Angela Main or Angela Mini Comics Festival over in Europe. It's been canceled due to political and boycott from guest creators and guest publishers and stuff, because the ownership has some issues. The people running the show had some issues. We'll get into the details of that later tonight. And we'll have some unboxings and show a few campaigns as well. So we might look at Lulu.com as well. So that'll be 8 p.m. this evening live. So again, thank you for watching. If you want to reach out to me on social media, it's Lewis.BrightRaven on Facebook, at Twitter X. It's at LewisBrightRaven 2. You can see more of my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You've been watching Quoth Raven, Lewis BrightRaven exclusively on YouTube. Questions, comments, Quoth Raven LBR72 at gmail.com. I'll get back to you. Try LewisBrightRaven at yahoo.com. And we'll see you this evening. Thanks for watching. Quoth the Raven, nevermore.